Hello everyone and welcome to another round of front-end news. The main headline today is about the controversy over using terminal ads to found open source maintainers. Mozilla CEO will step down at the end of 2019, Microsoft announces TypeScript 3.6, and Dojo 6 is now available for everyone. Next comes the usual software update section as well as the developer of the week. So stay with me until the end to find out all the details. All this being said, let's get started. Last week I mentioned how StandardJS version 14 included an open source experiment that helps maintainers get paid. This was due to a project named Funding that was created by Feroz, one of the StandardJS maintainers. The idea behind Funding is that companies buy ad space in people's terminals, and the Funding project does share its profits with open source projects who signed up to show the ads. It's no surprise that the move created fierce debates with strong arguments on both sides. While the vast majority agrees that open source software and maintainers need better funding, many developers were not pleased with these ads who made their way into the installation logs. On the surface, Funding is similar to Open Collective, another project that displayed donation requests via an npm terminal post-installation message. This also caused a lot of outrage at the time, but most developers ended up accepting the practice. Having full-blown ads in the terminal seems though to be a step too far for many people. As a result, the first ad blocker for npm packages was created. Also, due to the online pressure, Linode, one of the two companies who purchased ads on Funding, decided to back out of the project and retire their ads. The other company, LogRocket, also backed out silently. Both companies, though, expressed their support towards exploring new ways to help the open source maintainers. Things escalated to the point where NPM Inc., the company maintaining the npm repository, decided to step in. The online magazine ZDNet reports that Ahmad Nasri, the CTO of NPM, made a statement via email. Open quote. "We are always working on improving our policies and expand on our commitments to the community. To that end, we're making updates to our policies to be more explicit about the type of commercial content we do deem not acceptable." End of quote. According to these upcoming updates, NPM will ban packages that display ads at runtime, on installation, or at other stages of the software development life cycle, such as via npm scripts. Packages with code that can be used to display ads are fine. Packages that themselves display ads are not. Packages that themselves function primarily as ads, with only placeholder or negligible code, data, and other technical content. The announcement came right after Feroz announced that he's ending his experiment. He published a very detailed article on his blog describing the reasons that started the whole thing, how events unfolded over these days, and what his future plans are. NPM also published an article on their blog where they expressed their support for open source maintainers and their intention to create and launch an open source funding platform by the end of 2019. They invited everyone interested to participate to the process to get in touch with them. Overall, it is undeniable that Feroz and the funding experiment managed to disturb the status quo and to raise further awareness over the often thankless work as open source maintainers. I'm looking forward to see what solutions will rise as a result. Mozilla CEO Chris Beard announced that he will step down from the helm of the company. He has been leading Mozilla Corporation for the last 5 years and a half, and he will continue to do so only until a new CEO can be appointed. Chris declared himself pleased with the current state of the company and thinks that now it's a good moment for a change in leadership. Open quote. "It's within that backdrop that I made the decision that it's time for me to take a step back and start my own next chapter. This is a good place to recruit our next CEO and for me to take a meaningful break and recharge before considering what's next for me. It may be a cliche, but I'll embrace it. And I'm also looking forward to spending more time with my family after a particularly intense but gratifying tour of duty." End of quote. Mitchell Baker, the executive chairwoman of Mozilla Foundation, also published a public message of gratitude. She announced that Chris Beard will continue to be involved as an advisor to the board, and she assured everyone that Mozilla will continue on the current path. Microsoft developers announced the release of TypeScript version 3.6. The update brings a number of features like stricter generators, a more accurate array spread, improved user experience around promises, and many other changes. The TypeScript playground also got improved with a lot of new options like all the strictness flags or support for plain JavaScript files. The auto-import process got a bit smarter too and is now better deciding how to import other modules based on your existing code. Before you perform the update though, make sure to account for all the breaking changes. Dojo is a progressive framework for modern web apps using TypeScript and modern web APIs, and the development team just announced the release of its 6th major version. This milestone brings a number of important updates. In addition to the existing class-based widget API, a new function-based API is being added. There is also a new concept of middleware, which is designed to replace all existing supplemental widget patterns, mixins, metas, and decorators. For more information, you can check the Dojo middleware reference guides or some of the middleware examples available. And the changes include faster development builds, building widget libraries, glob support for code splitting, or updating the minimum TypeScript requirement to 3.4. The team has been eating their own dog food as well. The Dojo website is statically generated using the latest patterns, while the documentation content is automatically imported from the repository and rendered statically. If you are already using Dojo or want to start using it, go read the release notes and the migration guide to make use of all the new features. Following the closing of the funding experiment, StandardJS released another update to version 14.1.0, where that package is no longer included. This also upgrades ESLint to version 6.2.2 and adds support for ES 2020, the latest version of ECMA script specification. We get a glimpse at the next version of React Native with version 0.61.0 release candidate 0. The main feature present in this update is integration of React version 16.9. More details are to be published soon in another blog post, and the full set of change notes will be made available before the stable release. Feathers is a web framework for creating real-time applications and REST APIs using JavaScript or TypeScript with Node.js, React Native, and the browser. It works with any backend supporting many databases out of the box, and with any front-end technology like React, Vue.js, Angular, Android, or iOS. This week we got the release of the 4th major iteration, codenamed Crow. The highlight of the major changes is available in a blog post, together with the recording of the live launch and a Q&A session with the creator of the framework. The developer of the week for this episode is Val Head. Val is a designer and web animation consultant with the talent for getting designers and developers alike excited about the power of animation. She wrote 2 books on this topic. The first one is a free ebook named Pocket Guide to CSS Animation, and it's meant for web designers or developers who are new to CSS animations and want to start using them in their own work or experiments. The second one is titled Designing Interface Animation, and it's a crash course in motion design theory and practice for web designers, user experience professionals, and front-end developers alike. Val also writes articles both on her website and on other well-known platforms like Smashing Magazine or A List Apart. She's the curator of the UI Animation newsletter, she hosts the All in the Right Moves screencast, and is a co-host of the Motion and Meaning podcast. You can also see Val speaking and doing workshops at conferences all over the world. If you've got an event that could use a design talk or a web animation talk, don't hesitate to get in touch with her. Question of the day. What are your thoughts on helping finance open source maintainers? Please leave your answer in the comment section or send them to twitter.com/frontendnexus. Like this video if you liked it, and share it with your friends if you love it. If you want to see more content like this as well as practical advice on how to increase your value as a developer, then don't forget to subscribe using the red button down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.